Hi, welcome to the Macworld video. I'm your host, Macworld Senior Editor Chris Breen. As this convenient prop hints, we're going to be talking about spam. And no, I don't mean the delicious meat food product from Hormel, but rather the obnoxious junk that fills up your inbox and what you can do to help keep it at bay. We'll start by looking at some filtering techniques that you can use within your email client. If you haven't explored your email client's rules, also called filters in some programs, now is the time. There are rules you can create to get rid of some of the more obvious varieties of spam. Let's start by looking at how you create a rule in Mail. Choose Preferences from the Mail menu. Click the Rules item. Click the Add Rule button. In the resulting sheet, you see a description field where you name your rule. Below that is an if area where you create conditions, and then below that, an action where you tell the rules what to do with any messages that meet those conditions. Begin by creating a new mailbox called Suspected Spam. This will be the destination for any junk your rules catch. Now let's make a few rules. This one will help catch image spam. These are pictures of the messages rather than text. This kind of spam was created to sneak past the anti-spam features built into email clients and third-party spam utilities. A properly crafted rule can help get rid of it. Call the rule Image Spam. Click the first pop-up menu in the If area and choose Edit Header List. Enter content type and click OK. Now choose Content Type from the pop-up menu. Leave Contains in the second pop-up menu, and in the field to its right, enter multipart/related. Click the plus button to add another condition. Choose Sender is not in my address book. In the Actions area, choose Move Message to Suspected Spam. Finally, change the Any condition to All and click OK. This rule will move any messages with attachments of a suspect type that aren't from people in your address book to the suspected spam folder. If a good message slips through, be sure to add the sender to your address book. You can also filter spam by country of origin. If you don't correspond with people from Russia, for example, create a rule that reads, if from contains.ru, move messages to mailbox suspected spam. Here's another. Some spam messages appear to be sent by you to yourself. Unless you're in the habit of writing messages to yourself, create another rule that reads, if from contains your email address, where your email address is, well, your email address, move messages to mailbox suspected spam. If you correspond with the same group of people and rarely get messages from outside that group, another effective method is to create a whitelist. This is a limited list of senders who you will accept mail from. To make a whitelist, create a rule that reads, if sender is not in my address book, move messages to mailbox suspected spam. There are another couple of features built into your email client that require your attention, but not all of them are useful. Let's start with web bugs. Web bugs are a little bit of HTML code, usually a 1 pixel by 1 pixel graphic, that are embedded in email messages. When you open your email and you display one of these messages, a message can be sent back to the spammer indicating that it's hit a viable address. The spammer will then sell that address to other spammers. Here's how to deal with that. To avoid these web bugs, venture into your email client's preferences and disable any option for viewing remote HTML in your messages. This prevents those web bugs from doing their job. If you use Apple's Mail, notice the bounce command found in the message menu, and then don't use it, ever. This was a perfectly okay technique about 4 years ago, but spammers rarely send messages from valid addresses. Usually these addresses are forged, and so when you bounce a message, it's returned to an innocent victim, thus adding to the general flow of junk mail. Some of you are undoubtedly saying, but Chris, and yes, it's perfectly okay to address me in that familiar fashion, but Chris, why not just use my email client's built-in junk mail filtering capabilities? And the answer is, that's okay, it's a decent start, but there's some third-party utilities that do a better job. And when I say third-party utilities, I really mean C Command's $30 spam sieve. Yes, there are some other anti-spam utilities out there, and some of them are quite good, but none of them combine the ease of use and accuracy that I found in SpamSieve. SpamSieve works within your email client and includes the elements found in most anti-spam utilities. A block list, which contains addresses you don't want to receive email from. A whitelist of those you do want to receive email from. And a trainable filter for analyzing the contents of the messages you receive that weeds out spam based on what you've told the program is and is not junk. For example, most people consider email that contains the word Viagra to be junk. But suppose you're in the pharmaceutical business and your email often contains the word. Simple enough. Those for whom the word Viagra spells junk will teach SpamSieve that messages containing the word are no good. Those who feel differently will tell SpamSieve that certain messages that contain Viagra in a certain context are perfectly okay. Training is as simple as selecting a couple of hundred spam messages that you've saved and invoking the train spam command. Then select about 100 good messages and choose the train good command. SpamSieve will now make decisions based on this example email. When it makes a mistake one way or the other, simply correct it by invoking one of the teach commands. Within a week, SpamSieve should be at least 90% accurate in its judgments. Another option is to use a free email account and rely on its filtering. Among those free email accounts, Gmail has the most robust filtering I've seen. Like other Gmail users, I rarely see spam from my Gmail account. And if you've already committed to another ISP, you can still use Gmail's mail fetcher service to forward email from up to 5 POP accounts to Gmail, thus using Gmail's filters to get rid of the spam before the mail hits your inbox. Anything else you can do? Well, here are a couple of things that will help if you don't do them. Never ever reply to spam, even if it's to tell the spammer to take you off their list. They won't, and they'll sell your address to other spammers, and then you'll just get more of it. And never ever reply to email that asks you to confirm a credit card, bank account, or any other kind of personal information. This is called phishing with a PH, and it's a means for criminals to steal your identity and drain your bank account. The email and websites they refer you to look real, but they're not. Spam is a pain in the neck, and regrettably, your local government can't do much about it. Partly because a lot of spam comes from overseas, and partly because anti-spam legislation has been watered down by competing interests. So a lot of protecting yourself from spam is up to you and the people who control your email account. I hope these tips have given you a good start. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you next month.